What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 5 of our HEXAGON challenge here with Waitakere United in the ASB Premier League. That is right, isn't it? I now want to check. It is the ASB Premiership. My mistake. I still feel like I'm in an alien world here, which I guess I technically am. You know, New Zealand, not your typical place to manage. I've now been here a little over a month. You know, I've kind of worked on some things. I've got a few signings coming in at the end of this season. One signing who's joined already. Things have been going pretty well today. I have for you guys the second leg of the Chatham Cup. It's the semi-final. We actually lost the first leg 2-1, and we're now taking on Wanderers in the second leg. You can see we are away from home for this game. I just want to check the rules, but I don't think there's away goals here. No away goals. It'll be extra time, then penalties if it's needed. In terms of the team, you've not missed too much, really. There's not been a load of games to tell you guys about. Just a quick recap of the matches you've missed. Of course, the first game we lost on camera was 1-0 against Miramar Rangers, which was really disappointing. Since then, we've bounced back fairly well. We beat Caversham, as you can see here, 5-0. Really good performance. This one dominated the game. Pretty pleasing. Lovemore, Scott, Gwiver, an own goal, and then Manicum with the goals for us. So that was pretty decent. Good result there. Good way to bounce back, as well as particularly having lost the first game in charge. The next game was a 0-0 draw against Young Heart. Young Heart, a team which I don't really know too much about. In this database, which of course, as I mentioned last episode, isn't a very accurate New Zealand database, they actually have no players, so they get a load of regens to start, and they've actually got some pretty nice players here, so they are a fairly strong team in our division as a result, and they did fairly well. It was a 0-0 draw. We probably were the better team, but Ryan Stewart, as you can see here, getting sent off really put us at a disadvantage, and unfortunately for us, we couldn't break the deadlock, and it finished 0-0. The next game was the 2-1 defeat in the first leg of the semi-final against Wanderers. As you can see here, Ryan Pickering grabbing 2 goals for them. Little funny thing here, he's joining us at the end of the season. I've picked up this guy. You can see he's joining Waitakere United on the 1st of July. One thing to note here, and this is something that I've done with this Pentagon database, is I ticked an option when I started my game that's add players to playable teams. And this means for teams with not full kind of rosters, you know, teams that might only have 8 or 9 real players, it adds regens to make up the numbers, which is very useful when you're adding in extra databases or loading up obscure countries that might not have, you know, up-to-date or fully complete team rosters. As a result, you know, you get regens like this guy who's 24. He's been a really good player at Wanderers this year. He's got 17 goals, 12 assists, 7 player of the matches, one of the best players in the league this year. Going to be joining us on a free. Really excited about him. Going to be an excellent striker. Unfortunately for us, though, in this game, he did cost us, as he did ensure the Wanderers won 2-1. Anyway, the last game that we played was in the Premiership, and as you can see, we beat East Coast Bays 3-1. All of our goals came from, you know, 2 players. We've got Sean Lovemore here, who, when I joined, he really stood out as one of our best strikers. He's now got 13 goals in 30 games. And you can also see here Nathaniel Foster grabbing 2 goals, which is really nice. This guy, the Canadian right kind of winger, as I showed you guys last episode, I've actually changed my system a little bit. He's now playing as a striker for us. Good to see him grab a brace in that game there. Anyway, they're the results that have been going on. Because of the way the season is, you know, there isn't a load of pressure on us to do amazingly in the league. If we win a few of our remaining 3 games, you could see us go as high as 3rd, which wouldn't be a bad finish by any means. Perhaps a little bit disappointing. But at the same time, you know, to finish 3rd, considering that I joined the club and we were in 5th, wouldn't be too bad. Our results of late haven't been standout, but they've not been terrible. So that's kind of what's going on there. In terms of in the cup competition, we have got the second leg today. A quick look at some transfers. As I mentioned, there are a few new players who will be coming in. I mentioned Ryan Pickering already, who I'm pretty happy to get in. A few other players we've got Sean O'Brien here, who was actually already joining the club when I came. He's not a bad fullback by any means. He's athletic, not particularly great technically. 14 finishing on a fullback. I mean, we might play him as a left winger when need be. Probably won't be a starter for us, but an okay player for us, I guess, to have on a free. We almost signed Daniel Drake. Unfortunately, he had a contract extension offered by Young Heart in his contract. He had a clause whereby they could extend his contract for another year. I was really excited to get this guy. As I mentioned, Young Heart with a team full of some very good regens. This guy looked absolutely superb. Was dead excited to get my hands on him, and then they triggered that contract extension clause, and my hopes of getting him on a free were dashed. Anyway, the only other player we bought from Team Wellington. As you can see, Team Wellington, a fairly good team in the division. They're 2nd. They are in the Oceanic Champions League. And this guy is one of their big kind of prospects. This guy who is called Scott Basilage, and he's a very good player, New Zealand international at youth level, 21 years old. As you can see here, just a very good goalkeeper. I needed to get a long-term goalkeeper. Danny Robinson, who you can see here, his contract was running out at the end of the year. Have renewed it for one more season, but just needed a player kind of to, I guess, fill his shoes. A player who can come in and is going to be kind of a player capable of, I guess, filling the void, because Danny Robertson at 33, he's going to start to decline. This guy, 21 years old, very good player, perhaps a little bit susceptible for injuries. We're going to have to keep an eye out on that, but you can see some really good potential and some pretty good current ability. So I was happy to get him in, only 21 years old. Those are the big signings on the ins. Just looking at the squad, you can see I've renewed a lot of the contracts that we had with players. Most of players' contracts are no longer expiring at the end of this season, which is 2016. Those that aren't, for the most part, aren't too great. You can see I've got a few players on trial here. This guy, Chris James, I'm hoping to sign him. He wants a really big contract. He's currently on trial at the club, but he could be an absolutely kind of crazy signing if we were to get him. He'd easily be one of the best, if not the best player in our squad. So that's something I'm working potentially towards. There are some pretty nice free transfers, and keeping my eye out on them. But as you can see here, there are kind of a few players with contracts expiring. We are going to get a little bit of money there. In our reserves as well, again, bloated squad. If you look at the contract expiry date, you can see there is a lot of players with contracts expiring in 2016. And for the most part, these aren't players I'm interested in renewing the contracts of. So we're going to be getting some nice money there. That should allow me to bring in maybe one or two more, extra key players, I guess. In terms of the under-18s, there's actually a few talents here who I didn't talk about last episode. Dan Probert, this guy, 14 years old, looks like an absolutely incredible. I think he will probably be a defender for us more than a defensive mid. At the moment, he's a defensive midfielder, but to be honest, he'd actually make up for a really nice centre-back, so that's something you can perhaps expect to see from this guy. His mentals aren't crazy, but he's only 14, got loads of potential, got a few pros and a few cons, going to have to work on his consistency, but could improve a lot. And he's already in a position, aged 14, to perhaps play Premiership football. So a player who you might see kind of slowly slide into the first team, might even give him a few games towards the end of this season. The other player who's probably worth keeping an eye on is Aaron Al-Jawad, who you can see here. Again, centre-back, very good player. Perhaps physically not the best, not really fast. His strength had a little bit of a weakness. That is something that we are currently training him in. I'm hoping that's going to help him out. And yeah, they're the two kind of hot prospects, I guess, in the team. So anyway, for this episode, we are going to be doing the semi-final. This may be the last game of the season. I kind of feel like if we were to lose this, there's not much point in me continuing like this season and kind of showing you any more matches from it because, well, the league is all but done. So we really are going to focus on this. If we get to the cup final, excellent. If we don't, I'm going to go into the summer break. I'm going to make a load of changes. I guess it's technically the winter break because we're in the southern heaven. I can't talk. It's technically the winter because it's the we're in the southern hemisphere, of course, in New Zealand. But yeah, over the winter break, I will look to make some changes. This is the team and this is the shape that I have been using. A little bit strange, I know. I kind of wanted to facilitate for all our strikers. Next season, I think we will probably switch to a slightly more conventional 4-2-3-1. But this system's worked fairly well for us so far. It's the system that we are going to go with today. I'm hopeful that we can do something good here. I mentioned that we made a few signings. There's one player I forgot to mention, Jose Reina. This guy, Argentine, 24 years old. I actually found him because his agent offered him as a player we could possibly sign. So I looked into this guy, offered him a trial, decided he looked really good. In real life, he's not played much football at all, as you can see here. I mean, he may not even exist because there are weird players like this in the FM database. But he's a pretty good centre-back, 24 years old, really excited by him. Pretty well-rounded, all in all. Good to have a left-footed centre-back as well. I like to have a left and a right-footed centre-back. Certainly good enough for this level. You can see, looking at his pros and cons. Leading player for the division. Professional-minded. Seemed like a kind of no-brainer to kind of sign this guy in. He's only on £350 a week, so I was pretty happy to get that done. So anyway, let's submit our team for this game. Reina will be struggling with lack of match fitness, but that shouldn't be a problem here. Looking at how we're going to play, we are playing our 4-3-3. You can see we are taking on Wanderers here. They have got, of course, Pickering. It's kind of funny seeing R. Pickering because I keep thinking of Ronnie Pickering, if you know who that guy is. That is a internet meme and a half. If you don't, just Google Ronnie Pickering. You'll find out all about him. Maybe we'll nickname this guy Ronnie. Let me know if you think I should do that down in the comments. But yeah, this is the team we're taking on. Pickering really the player to keep an eye out on their team. Thor, he's a really, really good striker. Obviously, we have signed him. I'm going to just tell the players, the media have been on our back. I want to kind of get this team fired up if possible, get a few positive reactions. Not great here, but you know what? It'll do. We are 2-1 down. but we have got the ability and the talent in our team to really turn this around. And yeah, the players are good enough to do this, and I'm hoping to see a much better performance in this leg. I mean, in the last leg, to concede 2 at home was pretty disappointing. Wanderers, not a weak team in the division by any means. Of the teams in kind of the top flight Premiership, they are kind of probably in the top kind of 5 or 6 really. But we are, in my eyes, a top 3 team at the moment. The media predicted us to finish 2nd this year. So we'll see how we get on here, and we have a chance. We hit the woodwork. 5 minutes in, a good chance. Unfortunately for us, however, we did not make it count. So far I'm actually really enjoying my time in New Zealand. Obviously I've not had that much time to put my own stamp on this side, but I found some pretty nice players who are going to be coming in the summer. There's a few other players I'm keeping an eye out on, and well, if we can make the cup final here, that would be fantastic. And that is a lovely ball in by Foster. Guiver at the back post with the goal makes it 1-0. And you'd have to say, looking at the stats, we've been pretty good this game so far. Almost 60% of possession, 1 clear-cut chance going our way. Wanderers a little bit underwhelming. Looking at this stand, it's a little bit empty for this game, granted. The winner of this game will be taking on Auckland. I think it's Auckland City. That might be wrong, but Auckland have a team. I think it's Auckland City, but they are kind of the big dogs on campus. They are the team to beat. They're the team that, you know what, it's going to be a challenge to kind of overthrow them, I guess, in the next few years. But if we could do it in a cup final this season, that would be great. Obviously, we've got to get there first. I believe that actually we ourselves are actually based in Auckland, or certainly near it. So it is considered a bit of a local derby. But as much as I talk about this game going forward, we need to focus on the game. Get your head in the game, Jack. It's 1-1 here. Do not get carried away. Right now, Wanderers would be going through 3-2 on aggregate. I think it was Pickering with the assist. Our future man. I mean, if he can do what he's doing against us for us next year, I'll be a very happy man. So far in these 2 legs, he's got 2 goals and an assist to his name. But anyway, we're on the attack here. Raniga down the right inside. Foster. Is that a penalty? It is. Fowler committing it. This is a chance for us to make it all square. 3-3 on aggregate. Who is going to be stepping up for the penalty? It's going to be Willie. I guess his name's Willie. I feel rude saying that, and it's a very weird way to spell it, but we'll go with it. Okay, my Willie's just missed. But he gets the rebound. Craig Willie. It might be Wiley, but I'm calling him Willie now. It's happened. I'm sorry, I'm being very immature here. But our Willie scored. I think the first shot, actually, should that be allowed? Can we review this a sec? Because, okay, let's just get to the penalty. Because on a penalty shoot, on a penalty even, if you shoot and it hits the woodwork and comes back, the kick taker can't touch it again until another player on the pitch has taken it or made a contact, because otherwise it's considered a double hit, because they've kind of hit the ball twice without anyone else touching it. I'm wondering, did this hit the crossbar, come back to him and he scored, or did the goalkeeper get a touch? It probably won't be that clear from this angle, but we're going to watch it back in slow motion because I need to know. I've never actually seen it happen in FM, so who knows. So the ball hits the crossbar. I mean, it must hit the keeper's hand because the keeper's name lights up, but the 3D doesn't really reflect that particularly well. Anyway, that's the mystery solved. Right, now we can go forward with our lives and continue. Anyway, it's 3-3. Minor intermission there. Ryan Pickering out with a back strain. What have we done? We've just injured our future man. Hopefully that back strain isn't going to be a recurring injury. I'm going to tell the players here, keep going out there and you can still win tonight. Fairly good reaction from the players. Unlike at Beijing IT, I've kind of inherited a squad that's fairly happy. We've got a few players complaining about lack of first-team football. Of course, the squad rather huge here at Waitakere. I still can't say the name. Waitakere. There we go. I'm getting there. I need to have the phonetic breakdown written on the wall just above my monitor so I don't forget, because it is a mouthful. Although offside, okay, I thought they were about to score, but the linesman has saved us. He raises his flag. It's still 3-3 here. For people wondering, Jack, why didn't you live come the first leg of this semi-final? I did, except I forgot to hit the record button. I've not acknowledged this until this point because I feel like the hardcore listeners who listen to that, I can tell you guys it. It's those people who bandwagon, the people who flick to the end of the videos. You know, I don't want to admit to them my mistake. Yeah, I felt kind of like an old man, you know, when like it's a very dad thing to do. Like I think everyone's dad has done it at some point where they're meant to flick a switch or, you know, turn something on and then they forget to do it and nothing gets recorded. I feel like everyone does it once in their life. I don't think I've done it before this with FM videos, but there's a first time for everything. Looks like here we are going to be going to extra time. Our players are pretty dead out there. I'm going to tell the players that they've been unlucky so far. Very, very good reaction there. We go into extra time here. I don't want penalties. Not in my first season in charge. It will have been an eventful first 5 episodes, I guess, if there's penalties here. I mean, ideally, we'll just win it in regular time here. There's not much time, though, really. 20 minutes left of extra time. Looks like there's going to be nothing happening in this first leg. We'll start the second half of extra time. Going to do a cheeky little team talk from the sideline. I mean, these never seem to do anything for me, so we'll try it. And if it works wonders, well, then I'm a genius. But yeah, 10 minutes left here. Not a lot happening, although Willie with the throw in. Solomons. Back to Robinson in goal. Please don't kick it straight to them, Robinson. That's all I ask. We had enough of keeper mistakes in China. Right, that's okay. Gwivert, Stewart. We're on the attack here, boys. Foster. Willie on the overlap. Can he whip in the ball? He can. Gwivert keeps it in. Hits the side netting. Why did he shoot from there? Why did he shoot from on the byline? That is just annoying to watch. Unfortunately, though, I mean, it's happened now. We have to move on. There is a minute and a half left. A goal either way now would kind of decide this game. Reniga whips it in. Well, I thought the cross was about to just float into the back post. There is 1 minute left of extra time here. We need to defend. Solomon's nice header. Now can we attack? Foster down the left. Can he whip in the ball? Gwivers is there. Gwivers! He scores! We're going... What's the equivalent of Wembley in New Zealand? We're going there. We're going somewhere in New Zealand for a final. We'll go with that. That doesn't quite have the ring of we're going to Wembley. That must be game over now. Gwivers with the header. The keeper's just on a jog there. He's going nowhere. And we make it 4-3. We've dominated this game from start to finish. Ryan Stewart is not going to finish the game, unfortunately, but hopefully that isn't going to play too big of a role here. We can't take the injured player off the pitch, though, can we? Oh, wait, we can. I forgot, in this competition you're allowed 6 subs. Alright, that's my bad, okay. We probably could have made some subs at the end of regular time. Now I feel a little bit silly. If they score now, I'm going to cry. Willie, get rid of it. Ref, just blow the whistle. Blow it. There we go. 3-1, 4-3. We go through to the final. Our board expectations are met. A fantastic turnaround in this second leg. Not the most convincing performance, but we got it done in the end. And a 4-3 win. It's going to be memorable. Our goalkeeper actually got man of the match. I think it was our goalkeeper. Either way, what a performance. In fact, it wasn't our goalkeeper. I'm lying. Who did get man of the match? Let's give them their little nod and their man of the moment treatment. I guess it was Reniga. No, it couldn't have been Reniga. Who was the man of the match? Oh, it was Gwivert. Of course it was Gwivert. He got 2. He got the winner. Don't know why I thought it was our goalkeeper. Either way, though, it's the excitement of the moment, guys. I've just got very carried away here. We're on our way to the final. It's actually over 2 legs. So we are going to be taking on Auckland City, our rivals. That will be our last episode of the season. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. I will now remember to do the first and second leg of that game. If you have enjoyed this episode, please do smash the like button. With this competition, unfortunately, there isn't kind of continental qualification for winning it, but there's some pretty nice prize money I'd like to get our hands on. And also, some bragging rights over Auckland, one of our big rivals, would be pretty darn fantastic. So anyway, that is going to wrap things up from me. If you've enjoyed this episode, smash the like button. If you're new here, subscribe. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. And from me and Waititake United, well, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.